Good evening, chat. Hello. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Monday night. And yeah, something a little different considering it's like hot and piping off the press. And why is my freaking collar all flicked up? Anyways, guys, welcome to the show. We've got Turtleboy having a pretrial today. I know some of you are saying, well, why aren't I talking about Epstein? I think that's need to talk about that. I think tomorrow will be a good time to touch on that. We'll have a guest coming in, Ryan Mullally, American deist. He's an attorney, does some stuff here, I think, on YouTube and a little bit of the Twitch. And he liked to, we'll talk about the Epstein stuff plus some of the Supreme Court stuff that's going on, the ending of injunctions, and then also just the you can call it the legal insurrection that's going on with the courts at this point now, which are openly defying the Supreme Court. And then all the people engaged in, I think you consider like legal warfare, filing bullshit motions in other courts to try to cause problems. So we'll be getting into Epstein tomorrow night because I think, not a whole lot to say there, guys, but cope and seethe and dilate on that one. But we'll talk about it more. I'm kind of hoping we get a little more info too as things are going here, or at least watching Kash Patel and Dan Bongino give bullshit answers to things. I mean, we'll see what's happening. We'll see what's happening. So we'll see what's happening there, country tard. But don't you worry. We're not going to forget about it. Welcome everybody else. If you guys are new, welcome to the show. My name is Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. And today we got Turtleboy's pretrial. It's something I know a lot of people were like, well, what happened today? It's all over Zoom and it's all audio only. So we don't have any video, but there's a lot that gets discussed. And we really learn, we already knew that, Trooper Tully, Trooper Buchanan, and Trooper Proctor were all a bunch of scumbags, but we really learned how far and how deep things go even further here. We learned so much, about what's going on here. And, some things that Turtleboy's kind of getting screwed in a lot of ways. Like there's issues with the discovery that, for over a year and a half, they're still fucking around on this case. Like there's a lot of things they aren't doing right. And, obviously, like we're not surprised, but it's revealing how far they're going at this point to screw with him. And but it's the Massachusetts State Police. I titled the thumbnail, it's the Snake Squad. Like, these guys are fucking snakes. And it's funny when some of you might notice in Photoshop for Trooper Tully, he's the guy over on the far right side of the thumbnail. He's got a little dent in his head, and it's like, yeah, he's a dent in the truest sense of the word. So, as far as things are concerned, this is, guys, I told you, this is the continuation of Karen Reed. This is more and more and more of what's going on. So this is kind of like the saga of Karen Reed. It's like season 2, kind of, if you want to think about it that way. And yes, he's dented. Yes, they are. They're dented very much. So we will see right there. And we're going to get to some stuff. There's a bunch of things that came out in this, and we're like, holy shit balls. And there's also a couple of different things that have been filed and paperwork that's been filed and notices that have been kind of snaked up by people out in the world. And they just, it's like that guy in here. He's like, I just see information out there. I just grab it. Well, people grab some information up, and we're learning some people are kind of getting what they deserved at the end of the day here. Karen Reed season 2 features an entirely new cast. Not really. It's much of the same shitbags, just a different prosecutor and a different judge. That's really it. These are the same people we've got the entire time, guys. So we are not really changed. Not really too much of a change. Yeah, it's season 3. We can call it season 3. You call it season 3. Whatever you want to call it. We're on to bigger things now. We're on to new things with new enemies. How often do attorneys have motions rejected as defective? I mean, it happens. Like you file a motion and like if I forget to, like I put down the wrong case number or I forget to change the case number, it can get rejected. Or you file something and the clerk's like, hey, this isn't Bob. Which one? Like, we don't know what the fuck, which one you're doing. Like, and they'll say, can you refile it? And like, we won't file it till you fix this. Like, that stuff happens. But I mean, like, you try not to because you don't want to look like a dumbass. So, did my camera just zoom? Yeah, it's weird because it's doing crap on its own. So, I have an AI-based camera. That's why when I click on the thing, it can shoot down onto the desk and it flips the image around so you guys are looking how I'm looking. So, yeah. And if you guys don't remember, Turtleboy is Aidan Kearney. He is a journalist out of, the Boston and Massachusetts area, covering all kinds of things, mainly a lot of government accountability, a lot of government corruption. And the Karen Read saga became part of that. I think if you guys listen to all the interviews he's given so far, talks about it. First of all, he first heard word in like April of 2022 about, Karen Read being in the, or 2020, 23, Karen Read being in the snow, John Keith being in the snow, Karen Read hitting him. Like, very quickly, he became part of the story, got involved in it and latched on. And without him, we wouldn't know anything about Karen Read. We probably wouldn't know. Karen Read probably be toast by now. Because without him, there had been nobody here. None of us would have rallied around her, given her money, done anything at all. Now, what's happened with Turtleboy is Turtleboy has been struck with multiple counts of witness intimidation. Now, the problem is in Massachusetts, it's a very vague statute. It's very broad, and it can be used in a lot of different ways. So part of Turtleboy's campaign, not only to raise awareness in the public, was to go out and confront these people. The McCabe's, the Alberts, all these shitbags that are out there, and confronting them and, you need to confess and do what's right. Showing up to their houses, driving by their houses with a long convoy of cars, like doing car rallies, things like that. Now, all this stuff ended up being used against him because the state police are corrupt shitbags. It would get to the point of Turtleboy's comments on his live streams. And then, for example, he'd be talking and he'd pull out his phone and, speaking of that, hold on here. Okay. Making sure I didn't miss. My phone's been weird now. It's not keeping track of like phone calls I'm missing. Anyway. So anyways, what you do with the phone? He was like, I'm calling you right now, Jill Albert, and doing all that shit. And that's where I think, of all the things you do, like publishing people's phone numbers, that's going to kind of burn you up a little bit. And I still think it was all legal. Do I think he gave them an excuse to come after him and, these corrupt people to fucking lay the screws? So I'm sure. I think he could have probably done a little better. Sure. I know at the time I said it was a dumb fuck move. And I still agree with it. But overall, the man gets results. So as much as I want to say, I don't think he did it the right way. In some ways, I mean, overall, he did nothing wrong. He just did journalism and got a little bit of got up in people's faces about it. So he's facing multiple counts of witness intimidation, facing over 100 years in prison at this point if he were to be convicted of everything. So it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. They're prosecuting him for this. I mean, this is all because of Karen Read and because he was the most effective voice in the anti-Karen Read, or not the anti-Karen Read, the pro-Karen Read movement. Without him, Karen Read is screwed a long time ago. So it was very critical that Turtleboy be silenced. And they tried to, and it failed. It failed. And as you guys remember, guess what happened to Karen Read? She got acquitted. And now we're on to what about Turtleboy? So. Say, good thing Turtles live a long time. Well, I don't want him to have to worry about that. He should be acquitted. He should be acquitted. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. This case should have been dismissed, and we're not there yet. But we are going to get into, we're going to hear a lot about the shitbag cops and the MSP, and even more so now. So we're going to start this. Guys, this is the recording from Mike from the Young Jerks. He recorded the whole Turtleboy hearing earlier. So we're going to use that, and we're going to get this going here so you guys can hear. You guys can hear what happened. And hold on, where is? Yes, here we go. So this is going to be all. This starts off right when they start talking about Turtleboy. So if you guys don't understand it, I'm going to try to put on a closed captioning. So let's see what happens here.
Good to be back.
Are we ready
Good to be back.
on the Kearney matters? Okay.
This one?
We're going to do Mr. Kearney. So next before the court, number 6, 7, and 17. Number 6 and 7 are on for status. Number 17, which is 25 CR 88, is on for arraignment. Please come forward and identify yourselves for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert Cosgrove for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Bradle on behalf of Aidan Kearney. To my left.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Kearney.
And Mark Federer for Mr. Kearney.
Hi, Mr. Bedrow. Good afternoon. Okay, let's arraign him on the new case.
Mr. Kearney, on May 13th of 2025, the grand jury sitting in the County of Norfolk returned indictment number 2582 CR 00088, charging you as follows. Offense 1, charging intimidation of a witness, and offense 2, charging intimidation of a witness. Do you wish to waive the formal reading of these indictments?
Yes.
How do you wish to plead to each of these indictments?
Not guilty.
Thank you, sir. Is there a question of bail?
There's no question of bail, but I would ask the court to impose the same conditions that were imposed in the Stoughton District Court. And Mr. Bradle, correct me if my memory is wrong. I believe it was no contact with the alleged victim and stay 100 yards away from his place of work and residence.
And what are the allegations on these, on this one?
Intimidation of a witness, Your Honor.
Yeah, but what's the nature of it?
This was the appearance outside.
Oh, outside the, waving in the pizza shop. Yeah, I remember this. All right, that's,
Judge, that's agreed under Section 87.
yeah, that's fine. All right, I'll impose that, Margaret.
Thank you.
Would you like me to do that now or wait for the end?
Why don't you do that now? Just do them one at a
All right,
time.
the court recognizes you personally without surety with the following conditions. You are to have no contact, direct or indirect, with the victim in this case. You are to stay away, have no contact, stay away 100 yards from the residence and the place of work of the complainant. Do you assent to those conditions, sir?
Yes.
And you're
Okay.
hereby notified if you're charged with a crime during the period of your release, the bail in this matter may be revoked in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 276, Section 15. Thank you.
All right, what else are we gonna do?
Judge, if I may jump in right there, just for the record, we filed 2 arraignment-related motions, Your Honor.
Okay,
Obviously, we can push those to another day with 2 small exceptions of just an order to preserve notes of investigators and to preserve video, if I may, Your Honor. I don't believe there's an objection.
okay. Yeah, those are both ordered. So
Thank
we saw the Commonwealth's ordered to preserve notes of investigators and to preserve video. What else can I do for you?
For me or?
Why don't I start with you, Mr. Cosgrove? Go right ahead.
Fine. So, Your Honor, answer.
Yeah, real quick, Abby. I said I would do it when I got home, and I didn't get home till like 3, and then I didn't have a link I could use. So, I mean, I'm just saying. So, and I tried to explain it to Kurt, like I wasn't ready until 3 o'clock. So, but I'm glad you have a story for that, or your accounting of it.
The discovery order the last time we were here. I made substantial progress on it. I can't say.
That said, though, I feel bad, like, because I said I'd love to do it. I didn't have a chance yet. So no, like, I apologize to Kurt. I definitely didn't like that I did that. But
I fully complied with it, but I have about let's see, somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 or 6,000 pages of discovery to provide Mr. Bradle today. And I had planned, Your Honor, to file that with
5,000 or 6,000 pages of discovery that he hasn't provided yet. No, notice, guys, Turtleboy got the 2 new. the 2 new charges, but 5,000 to 6,000 pages. I mean, geez, guys, murders are like a couple thousand pages of discovery. How much discovery do they really have for some Irish guy harassing some other mix in Boston? Like, how much discovery do we really need in this case? 5,000 to 6,000 pages? No. This is insane. 5,000 to 6,000 pages is absolutely ridiculous. Like, why? Why do we need 5,000 to 6,000 pages? That's not been explained to me. Like, that's what I want to know. Like, how? Unless they're basically giving the Karen Reed discovery, which, I mean, I guess some point that's partially related, but Pace is cool with the anti-Gaelic remarks. I'm allowed to use those words. It's one of my people's words. I'm allowed to use it. I just absolutely fucking garbage on behalf of the state, and they still haven't given all this stuff away. It's been a long time now. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, I get it. We're illegally prosecuting somebody, but that's what this is. This is so bullshit. Such bullshit.
A motion for a protective order, which I had served on Mr. Brady with a couple of days from the one I gave you.
Thank you.
And we have been going along with these, essentially tracking protective orders in the Karen Reed case, and in fact, much of the material is duplicates of the discovery turned over in the Karen Reed case, and I've pretty much followed their form protective order. These have all been allowed with the agreement of the defendant and without prejudice.
Okay.
I understand that Mr. Bradel wishes to bring that practice to an end as of today. I'm in a somewhat different position.
All right. Let me hear from Mr. Bradel. Mr. Bradel,
Thank you, Your Honor.
give me your argument.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. Judge, the Karen Reed case is over with. It's moot. It's gone. Okay. And my filing, Judge, entitled Aidan Kearney's motion to release case documents from impoundment is what we're talking about here, Your Honor. So I asked the court last time, and we had so much business on the docket last time, I don't think we circled back on it, but I was asking to just release everything from impoundment, Your Honor. The fact that things are embarrassing or scandalous or cause negative light to be cast upon public officials, Your Honor, is not a reason to impound documents. It's actually a reason to release documents. And that's really all the Commonwealth has left on the existing stuff, is that, gee, this might make investigators look bad. This might make special prosecutors, present company accepted, look bad. This might, cause election shifts, and
That's very interesting. It might cause the special prosecutors, and he says present company accepted, meaning information and communications that Hank Brennan has had. Wouldn't we love to see those? Wouldn't we love to see those, chat? Wouldn't we love to see those between him and Michael Morrissey? Ooh, child. That would be some interesting stuff. And Tim Bradel's got the right argument. We impounded all this because the Karen Reed trial was going. It's because Karen Reed was ongoing, and yeah, it had to make sense. We probably had to keep stuff under wraps. The trial's over. There's no need to do that anymore. So, Tim Bradel's making a beautiful argument here, and I think he's got, let's hope this judge does the right thing. But yeah, this is, whoa. Yeah, pretty much. Girl. Yeah, apparently they've got Hank Brennan talking, and that'll be great. How many pages they say? 5,000 to 6,000. That's not all of it. So here we go, guys. And I'm not I have not heard this. I've only seen bits and clips on Twitter, but this is interesting. They've got Hank Brennan communications in there. Ooh.
And that's not a reason to impound things, Your Honor. And initially, we have sort of taken the candy from, you know, from the Commonwealth, and when they say, just, we'll give you the stuff,
Those
but
things are
disagree to
nasty,
protective
by
order.
the
So
way.
we want the stuff, but at some point, we have to get off of that train, Your Honor, you know? This is a case of immense public interest. This is a case of, you know, First Amendment issues, and I know we may disagree on that, but, you know, that's what our adversary system is for, and that's okay. And I think every case that eventually gets to the SJC or the Supreme Court starts with a trial judge maybe not agreeing with you, so that's okay. And, you know, that's what we have here. But in any event, Your Honor, I think we can agree that this case brings to the fore really important issues about.
I think it's Brent. Well, I think Mello talked to Brennan. I think Mello's talked to Brennan and Morrissey. I'm sure Mello has talked to the investigators. I'm sure he's talked to Brennan. I'm sure it goes everywhere. You flip over the rock and all those fucking snakes are gonna scatter. Oh, I would love to know what this is. I'd love to know what they're talking about.
What is witness intimidation? What is journalism? Where does the First Amendment fit in? And, you know, these text messages about, you know, and I'm trying to not speak of them in open court, but we all know what they say, and we all know that there's a public interest in shining some sunlight on these things. So we're not asking to, you know, publish someone's address or someone's phone number. We're asking for the content of these communications that these folks have issued between and among each other. And the content of them per se has no persuasive power to make you want to impound them.
Let me ask Mr. Cosgrove, what interest at the moment does impoundment serve?
Your Honor, I've just been handed,
And that's the important point here. Remember, the government wants it suppressed and kept in the dark. And it's on them to explain why. And the judge said, just explain to me why. It's your burden to prove it here. Well, give me a reason.
20 minutes ago, a fairly extensive motion suggesting that I.
Patty, I don't know if you're being a goober or not. No, Turtleboy's not fucking talking. No, he's not talking. He had to talk when he had to give a plea of not guilty to the original charge, like the 2 new charges. But no, he's not talking. So if you're being a goober, fine. But like, you're going to confuse the shit out of people. So please stop.
I have all kinds of various burdens to justify impoundment and citing a lot of case law. I would like an opportunity to file a written response.
I'd give you that. Was a week enough?
I'd like a little more than that. Your
About
Honor.
2 weeks.
All right.
There you go. I'll give.
Which is such bullshit. Give us one. Like, I'm surprised that this judge, like, fuck. Give me an answer right now on the record in open court. You got to have one of them right on the tip of your tongue. I need time to put them all down. Okay, fine. Give me one right now. And I won't hold you to just one. Such garbage. Such garbage from the Commonwealth.
Give you 2 weeks. I'll take it under advisement. And if you want to file anything else, Mr. Bradel, Mr. Betterow, you absolutely have every opportunity.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Your Honor. And
Now, Your Honor, with respect to the items that I was going to turn over today,
So I'll allow the motion. Mr. Bradel, I'm up here.
sorry, Your Honor.
It's all right.
I thought I had a minute.
That's fine. You got to talk to your client. You got to talk to Mr. Betterow. My point is this. If you want the stuff today, I'll allow it without prejudice.
Sure.
And then I'll see what you have to say and what Mr. Cosgrove.
We have to take the candy.
That's fine.
All right. Please note our objection, but thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So I will allow Mr. Cosgrove's motion without prejudice, and I'll take any submissions that you have, and I'll give you a final answer probably in about 3 weeks.
Thank you very
Does
much.
that make sense? Okay.
And then Judge, just to shift gears a little bit, there's some outstanding discovery that we've been talking about.
Yeah?
And I want to start off, I know that the court's time can be much better spent in discovery disputes. So we talked about the idea that we would go to the DA's office, and to the extent there's items that the government says they've given us that we can't open up or figure out,
Yeah.
you know, I think we're going to agree to go in person with our people and figure it out. So
Yeah, sure.
that's the first thing I want to say. But then, in addition, Your Honor, there's this inventory that I filed. It's entitled Inventory of Outstanding Items in Connection with Our Third Motion to Compel.
Okay.
There's about 10 things, Your Honor, and I think, unfortunately, that the government ought to go through and answer to us today about what the status of these things is. And we've been kind of going back and forth about these things for a long time. I looked back, Your Honor, and my first discovery request was February of 24. And second and third, you know, were the months following. And you know, in fairness, counsel for the Commonwealth was not the prosecutor of record at the time, but you know, the rules are the rules, and we need this stuff, and it's gone on way too long. So these are the 10 things that I think are very important, and maybe 9.
Mr. Cosgrove, might you want to take that 2 weeks and respond to all of those?
Yeah,
Could you give me an extra?
that's a long frickin' time. We haven't gotten anything that we need. Guys, not even a murder case would do this. They might as well just say, yeah, Your Honor, we're fucking with them and not doing anything right. I mean, this is a fucking joke. This is a fucking joke, you guys.
So these are the 10 things that I think are very important, and maybe 9.
Mr. Cosgrove, might you want to take that 2 weeks and respond to all of those?
Could you give me an extra week, Your Honor?
An extra week.
Thank you.
All right. But it is, Mr. Bradel makes a very good point. As we all know, I think that it's important that the discovery be turned over so that we can bring a timely.
Yes, it's a very good point. You need to provide the defense with discovery. It's a very good point. No shit. No shit.
Trial to the case.
I don't disagree with Your Honor. Notwithstanding that Mr. Bradel has some complaints, and some of them may well be legitimate, there has been a substantial amount of discovery turned over in this case.
Yeah. If you turn over 5,000 pages today, it's a lot of discovery.
We appreciate it, Your Honor.
Okay, great.
Thank you. And Attorney Bettero has a number of items as well, Judge.
Mr. Bettero.
Thank you, Judge. Just going back briefly to some of the issues about impoundment.
Yeah.
There are some items that are currently under impoundment, which we believe ought to be released from impoundment, specifically messages from Michael Proctor and a civilian witness. Those messages were cited in our motion to dismiss. As the court is no doubt aware, Michael Proctor is terminated.
And that's why I put him in the thumbnail, chat. It's the fucking snake squad. They're just everywhere.
From the state police. He has been a matter of public interest with his involvement in both the Karen Reed case, which led to Mr. Kearney's interest and ultimately, on some level, his indictment in this case. But also, those messages were impounded ostensibly for privacy interests, security interests, those sorts of things. Recently, Michael Proctor has been on a press tour on ABC News and NBC News, vigorously defending his investigative conduct. The messages that are at issue here, which are impounded, and the public is entitled to see that. There is certainly a presumption of public access to those files. Michael Proctor has surrendered any privacy interest he has by addressing those issues, as has, the other civilian that we're talking about, who also recently appeared on national news with other members of her family, defending her and her family's conduct.
That's Jen McCabe, chat. from what I can understand, I think they're talking about Jen McCabe. Because I don't know who else it would be. When they say her and she's kind of leading the charge, it's Jen McCabe who's the face of of all these people.
In this case, those messages should be publicly available. If there's going to be information that's in the public realm, there's no reason why information that the prosecution wanted concealed from public view should be concealed any further. If the court likes, we can approach and show you the messages. I would suggest they are relatively straightforward, and there's no reason for those to be impounded at this time.
Okay. Anything you want to say to that, Mr. Cosgrove? I'm not going to give you another week.
Well, I would suggest it would make sense to take this.
And the judge is just, there we go. I think the judge, well, he made a joke there, but that's his also way of saying, like, you got some fucking explaining to do.
Up when we take up the other night.
I think that makes sense too.
Yeah, I won't ask for another week. I won't ask for another day.
That's, why don't I do this? Why don't you all come up to sidebar? Let me take a look at what you need.
All right, chat. So they go into a sidebar here, but yeah, it's Jen McCabe. And the text Jen McCabe has to the Commonwealth, the advocates, the police. All of that's coming out, chat. All of it's coming out. Her to Proctor. Like, all of that, chat, is stuff we want. And we want to know about. And I think that, Jim, you're correct. This is going to reveal information about Kate Peters as well. Good old Krusty Panties and all these other Karen Reed retards that are running around Boston. I mean, God. They are such thin-skinned bitches out there. God, they're thinner-skinned bitches than the NAFO people. But yes, it's very interesting what's going on. Now we're to the point of, well, none of that's protected anymore. So I need a better Boston accent. Well, I'm sorry, you got to suffer. You think it's Carrie Roberts? Carrie hasn't been on TV though. Jen's the one that's been on TV. She led the Dateline group, the 2020 group. I thought it's going to be Jen, not Carrie. So but we'll see. We'll see. Bet you a sandwich? Fine, I'll bet you a sandwich. They try to use these texts in the Karen Reed trial. Bev won't accept them. They couldn't authenticate. Yeah, but I mean, I still think ultimately there's a lot of Jen McCabe stuff that we don't have access to or weren't allowed in. So if only Jeb would have won, he would have pardoned Turtleboy. Funny. I assume there's a gag on naming people. Yes. Oh, yeah. You're not allowed to talk. Like, you can talk about them in that regard. But, yeah, there's a reason why they aren't using names. They can use Proctor's name because he's a police officer, but that's it. Jail is saying, why does the town of Canton want this bad look publicly? They don't, like, the town of Canton, like, the people who live there, they've got no say. The people of Norfolk County, well, or Norfolk, or whatever they want to say they are.
You go back.
Right now, they've got elected officials who aren't up for being accountable right now. So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what that turns into. So, let's keep going.
Mr. Betterow, the floor is yours. What else?
Thank you. Judge, one outstanding issue relates to the second of the three indictments that relates to Lindsay Gattani. We moved and were granted a hearing to disqualify Mr. Mello from prosecuting that case because he is an essential witness in that matter. That issue was decided in September of 2024. A hearing was ordered in January of 2025. For reasons which the court is familiar with, that hearing has been put off. Nevertheless, we're looking to move this forward, and the issue is not resolved, and we're led to believe that Mr. Mello will not voluntarily withdraw. For whatever reason, we need to do this hearing. We believe that he's going to be a defense witness in this case. We're getting discovery between him and another civilian witness today, which I think is going to further that application and very.
Ooh. Oh, guys, this is getting good now. Everybody's coming in have to testify. Everybody's getting a subpoena. That was the funny thing. The Karen Reed trial insulated all of them. And now Karen Reed won and the trial's over. And now they're the worst of both worlds. Karen Reed won and the trial's over. So now they're on their own. If Karen Reed had been convicted, I think Turtleboy would be toast a little more. But now, woo! Fucking scalps are going to get collected, guys. You'll love to see it.
Likely make him even more a prosecution witness, and we just can't kick this can down the road for close to a year. So we would like to schedule a date for Mr. Mello to either appear, be examined under oath, explain the consequences, which the court, again, is probably familiar with. He was contacted by the complainant during the alleged crime repeatedly, 4 or 5 times over the course of that day. Instead of the police being called, he was an ear witness to these allegations. Respectfully, he needs to come in here, answer these questions so the court can issue a decision as to whether he's going to be allowed to continue or whether we can go through the process of subpoenaing him and any other items that might be of assistance to us with calling him as a witness.
Pretty much. Everybody's getting subpoenaed.
Can I inquire if Mr. Mello is online?
I do not see him.
Ooh, he's not even there in court.
Attorney
Ooh.
Mello, last time he did use his name, there is no one with his name on there this time.
Well, can I approach?
Of course. Come on up.
This is I don't know what to say here, guys. Mello dipped on a hearing where his counsel of record still. Yeah, that's yeah, something happened here. Something happened there. Yeah, well, to be fair, this beep, guys, is Turtleboy's case on life support. It's barely hanging on, chat. Boop. 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 That's gonna happen here soon. It's gonna flatline. And Turtleboy will walk out of there, but not yet. Not yet. No, this is not the ghetto bird chirping, chat. Hold on here. Let's skip ahead. Hold on, I forgot you do the 10-second skips.
Mr. Betterow, you said you had one more thing.
Yes, Judge. Just as it relates to discovery, we have made a series of discovery demands from the prosecution ranging from October of 2024. As of this date, not including whatever was filed today, we have made 4 very thorough, detailed discovery demands sourced regarding contacts between a civilian named Catherine Peter and the state police and the district attorney's office regarding her very unique relationship in all matters involving Mr. Kearney.
Uh-oh, crusty panties. Guys, Kate Peter is if you've seen the pictures of the anti-Karen Reed protesters, she's usually been out there and about. She's been like the leader of it. She brags about having all kinds of connections to the Norfolk DA's office, which you think they wouldn't because she's just kind of a fucking retard, but the DA's office is full of retards, so I could see them working with her. So, yeah. But this is interesting. This is interesting.
Catherine Peter and the state police and the district attorney's office regarding her very unique relationship in all matters involving Mr. Kearney. Those demands, which again are in the files, Mr. Cosgrove has them, outline in detail her frequent contacts with the state police, with people that are prosecutors, statements that she has made under oath in court proceedings stating that she helps authorities get Mr. Kearney, voice recordings that she has left Mr. Kearney indicating that she provides information to them. So we have asked for any discovery related to Ms. Peter going on about a year. Now, today, for the first time, we are admittedly getting something that relates to her communications with Mr. Mello. I'll only note that all materials that relate to Ms. Peter and the prosecution were ordered by the court in early May to have been provided within 20 days. That didn't happen. We got stuff today. That's fine. But the real issue here is that in light of the change in Rule 14 from last March, the game is very different than it might have been before in terms of what the prosecution is obligated to do and what I don't believe they've done in this case, which is go to every member of the prosecution team, which is everyone in the district attorney's office, any of the state police who are involved in these matters, which includes Michael Proctor at the time, Yuri Buchanan, Lieutenant Tully, Fanning, there's a whole list of them. The Karen Reed prosecutors who are also covered, who got a little bit involved, as the court is aware, in Mr. Kearney's case and may or may not have had a relationship with her too. She has made statements allegedly indicating some involvement in that case. The rule requires the prosecution, whether they credit the information or not, to contact each individual that is on the prosecution team and make an inquiry and find out whether there is any material and disclose it. We don't think that that has happened. We respectfully submit that is something that Mr. Cosgrove has to do. In particular, I would draw the court's attention to testimony that was given by a member of the state police in February of 2024, which led to a wiretapping charge against Mr. Kearney, in which Fanning of the state police stated under oath that they received a recording, a 30-second recording from Catherine Peter, that it was given to Lieutenant Tully and then given to Fanning, and we have no evidence of that. We don't have a copy of the recording. We were given the wrong recording in that regard. We have no police reports. We have no communications. We have nothing. If they don't exist, they don't exist, but they're obligated to look for it, make the inquiry, and report back and say whether any of this exists or not. And the last thing I'll note on that point, under the new rule, it doesn't matter whether the prosecutor credits any of this, thinks it's nonsense, thinks it might be real. They're obligated to do it, and we simply ask respectfully that the court instruct the prosecution to do that and disclose whatever evidence ought to be disclosed, or make a statement on the record that there is nothing to disclose. And if that's the case, then we'll all live and die with the consequences of that statement.
Okay, Mr. Cosgrove.
Wow.
It's largely been done.
Is that part of the 5,000 pages that you're turning over?
It is. Among the things turned over is the email from Catherine Peter to Brian Tully providing that 30-second clip.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine. So that's that. You said that you had something.
An email, which means he knows in depth about Kate. So Kate was already contacting Tully. Ooh, very interesting. Very interesting.
Things you wanted to bring up. Go right ahead.
Yes. So this will be an opportunity, Your Honor, for myself and Mr. Betterow to do an absolute 180 on our positions on disclosure of impounded documents. Your Honor will recall that the last time we were here, attached to a discovery motion was an affidavit.
Oh, yeah.
And at that time, it was initially filed provisionally without hearing from the Commonwealth, was impounded upon, I believe, not the affiant's representation, but I think Mr. Bradle's representation that the affiant was in fear that there would be some sort of retaliation by the Commonwealth. I think Your Honor will recall the fairly outrageous, if I can put it that way, representations that were made by the affiant. I believe now, as I moved at the time, that affidavit should either be stricken or that the impoundment order should be lifted. I don't believe an affiant should be allowed to accuse an assistant DA of jury tampering and the district attorney of having secret meetings with witnesses and all these other things, and then hide behind an impoundment order.
Okay. Let me hear from the other.
You're hiding behind an impoundment order, you fucking assholes. We're allowed to accuse the government of being malfeasant. That's how it works. We are allowed to do that. We're allowed to do that. We're allowed to seek cover because we know the government will retaliate against us. We know that in this situation, there's an entire squad of corrupt cops that were being hatchet men for the district attorney's office. They shouldn't be allowed to hide behind it. You're hiding behind the goddamn order. You're like, I need time to respond. I have reasons. You know, you use it as a sword and a shield, you pussy. Cosgrove, you're a special prosecutor. You're not even, like, in the DA's office. And you're working really fucking hard to protect it, man. Just absolutely ridiculous. Oh. Oh. Fuck these people. Fuck this guy, Cosgrove. Fuck that argument. Completely fuck that argument. Absolutely. Fucking stones on these people. The nerve, the absolute nerve of these people. I mean, just listen to this shit again.
That the affiant was in fear that there would be some sort of retaliation by the Commonwealth. I think Your Honor will recall.
Yeah, and you know what? In addition to the Commonwealth retaliating, guess what's happened? One of the anti-Karen Reed people got arrested and charged with juror intimidation. The way the anti-Karen Reed people, Kate Peter included, they are harassing and intimidating people. So yes, there is an air of intimidation that's out there right now. Just think about these. Just think about this shit. Think about what he's saying.
The fairly outrageous, if I can put it that way, representations that were made by the affiant. I believe now, as I moved at the time, that affidavit should either be stricken or that the impoundment order should be lifted. I don't believe an affiant should be allowed to accuse an assistant DA of jury tampering and the district attorney of having secret meetings with witnesses and all these other things, and then hide behind an impoundment order.
Okay. Let me hear from the other side. Mr. Betteroff.
Yes, a couple things that I think ought to be corrected. The affiant is not alleging what happened. The affiant is alleging under oath that she was told by another individual who we were discussing earlier what happened. That's the first point. The second point is that document was attached as an exhibit to a discovery demand. Discovery demand number 4, alleging more reason to believe that there is an obligation for the prosecution to look into possible discovery that is in their possession, custody, or control. If that affidavit were to be stricken, that means literally nothing. They are still obligated to do whatever it is they had to do. And at the time that that motion was discovered until 20 minutes ago, absolutely nothing has been turned over regarding this person who brags about working for the authority. So I don't know the relevance of doing anything one way or the other with respect to the affidavit. Now, that person may very well have a privacy interest because the day after that affidavit was filed, her apartment was essentially covered in personal information about herself that could have only come from someone with access to law enforcement. And almost certainly that individual was subjected to charges of witness tampering, which I believe were actually under investigation and may still very well be. I can't go farther than that. I don't know. Somebody, whoever did this, wrote snitch on her door. So I would suggest in this situation, impoundment of her name is more than appropriate.
Okay. I'd just make 2 points in response. One, I don't think it's.
And guys, there's these were people that were outside waiting for Turtleboy's case to be over. But yeah, the lady Jean, I think it's Jean from like Dorchester or whatever her name was. Kate immediately started like putting shit all over her door in the apartment complex because she lived in the same building as Kate. You know, it's clear there's a harassment campaign that goes on. There is clearly a harassment campaign going on here. Yes. And Mark Betterow is absolutely lighting it up here. Absolutely lighting it up. So.
It's entirely true that the affiant was simply relying on recounting hearsay. If she was, that would say something about the credibility of the affidavit as well. But I seem to recall, Your Honor, that at least one point the affiant represented that she was present when Ms. Peter, I believe it was having a phone conversation with Hank Brennan, and that she, the affiant, recognized Hank Brennan's voice because she was familiar with it. So I don't think it was simply a matter of hearsay. The second thing I'd say is that the identity of this person is all over the internet, and was all over the internet at the time it was before you the other day.
So are I don't get it, Cosgrove. Are you agreeing that Kate is doing witness intimidation? Kind of sounds like it.
I don't know what the interest is, given those circumstances, in concealing it in the court papers.
Okay. Judge, I'm sorry,
and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Could I just add one thing?
Yeah,
Well, let's see here.
Apparently these things that were affixed to her door in her apartment building, which is the same apartment building that Ms. Peters lives in. And I think the implication was made at the time. First of all, that event was publicized by Mr. Kearney on the internet with photographs of the door in question. And I guess I would just question, Your Honor, the source of those documents, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Just very quickly, Your Honor, in terms of this individual's name being on the internet, there are two reasons for that. The first is because Ms. Peter identified her publicly and led to this kind of harassment. The other reason, and this was no question a mistake, but Mr. Cosgrove mentioned her name accidentally, and no question, no malintent, but her name was stated in open court, and as you can see, people watch in court, online, and whatnot. So the fact that her name had been put out accidentally through no fault, with no malintent, is not a reason, I think, to just open up the affidavit to her name.
Okay, thank you all. So we have a date for, what was that, August? What was the date, Margaret?
August 13th for discovery compliance.
And then we'll pick a date for the other issue. Am I correct, Mr. Cosgrove? towards the end of the month?
Now, or do you want to pick it on?
Why don't we pick it on the 13th? I think that makes sense.
All right, I may have some, I'm sorry, I should be standing.
That's okay.
I may have some information about,
That's fine.
the health status at that time.
All right. We'll see you all on August 13th.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all.
One more, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I believe we have an agreement, Mr. Bradel has responded relative to the source code for accessing the search of the devices.
Yep.
And he's indicated it was the same source code previously provided Lieutenant Tully, and that he would supply it again if necessary. And I've indicated to him that that's appropriate, and I think he should supply it today.
So,
And I
Mr.
don't think
Bradel-
there's a disagreement with that.
All right. You don't disagree with that, do you?
Sure.
Yeah, all right, good. I'll see you August 13th.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
So, source code passwords. Yeah, well, yeah, 3 weeks just turned into 5 weeks. Yeah, well, that's the problem, Trenton. Yeah, that is the issue. I need 3 weeks. Well, it works out. No, you got 5. You're like, fuck. But now there's no excuses. Now there's no excuses for Cosgrove. So, and real quick, guys, we're gonna get on some super chats. We're gonna listen to the pretrial, because there's a bit of a kind of a everybody hanging out here in a second that you guys can listen to. Edward Scott says, I also believe Sean will be late and gay. Well, Safa, you were wrong there. Nick Kreuzer is a new member. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. Country chart, I covered this. Yeah, we'll be doing that. We'll be talking about that coming up. I wanted a little more. Got to give that one at least 24 hours of cool. I want to see what happens there. Whiskey77, who's been a member for 13 months, says, all the names in blue sniff each other's farts. That's very true. That's very true. And thank you for the support. 13 months. EDW Raptor says, if we hit the gold chat, Sean will pop his collar for the rest of the stream. Yeah, no, I don't pop your collar. The only guys who pop your collars that I know of are the SIG Eps where I went to college at. You don't pop your collar otherwise. And guys, also remember, we'll be doing the local stream a little bit later. Chugi Show for 199 says, the Epstein case summed up, nothing ever happens o'clock. Well, that's always true. It's nothing ever happens o'clock. Another for $5 says, Turtleboy turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Turtle. I don't know. Maybe. You're going to have to ask him. KRM 944 says, Bradel and Betterow want bubblegum wrappers if it's in evidence. I agree. But just the amount, like, some of that is the state trying to snow him over, I would assume. KRM says, is it really going to cost Turtleboy $2,000 for every appearance for his 2 lawyers? Probably. The state's just fucking around, so yeah, you got to keep going to court. Barton Bella says, I wish Alessi and Jackson could have walked into court with Turtleboy as support. They might be witnesses. Who knows what's going to happen? I think Alan Jackson even mentioned, like, you know, they're kind of off to the side for now, but they're not gone. They're not all gone. When's my Turtleboy interview? I don't know if I'm ever going to get one. I probably should ask him. Sharon says Chili's going to represent Kate Peter. Kate Peter selling trifolds as a fundraiser. God, that would be hilarious. You know, previous foes are now friends. Jefferson Post, the judge lets the state fuck around with no find out. Shake my head. I agree. That's kind of where we are right now. It's kind of where we are right now. So, yeah, Turtleboy's on with Bob Mata and Ali Mata over on Defense Diaries tonight. Yes. So, yes, Turtleboy is suing Kate Peter again. Yes, and we're going to go over that lawsuit, chat, because we need to take a look at it because he does write again. It's kind of hilarious. Going back to Turtleboy. We're going back to that well. So we are going to cover him soon. We'll be doing that, I think, maybe this week. Maybe Saturday night we'll cover Chili. And when we covered Chile, for those of you guys who don't know Chile de Castro is, we're gonna do a recap of Chile for you. Don't worry. Anyways, let's see what happens outside when everybody comes out. So you guys are like, hey, I remember these steps. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? And that is interesting. Guys, this is Bree Law. I don't know who that is. So.
None of us.
There's a lot of the Turtleboy people coming out.
Oh, yeah. Attorney.
I know they added that walked on you today. Yeah. You don't do it.
Wow, guys, I'm sorry. The audio kind of sucks here, but I believe that's Tim Bradle, one of Turtleboy's attorneys.
How are you? We talked a little bit about things, Attorney Metals and Zelle from this case. Have you spoken to?
Haven't spoken. Yeah, I think you know it's kind of Cambridge. You know, we're just gonna call back.
All right, guys. There we go. I don't know. Oh, there you go, guys. That's Jess Machado in the blue dress. She was just on with us last week. This is her right here. It sounds like. I can't tell. I haven't seen her face, but I'm pretty sure it's her.
It turns out it started off that left the case and is now witnesses. Obviously, based on communications with Lindsay.
Yep, that's Jess.
This is a very interesting situation.
I never had a case where a prosecutor got involved with the witnesses and somebody that was going to have to be potentially testifying as a potential impeachment witness or a fact witness, getting calls at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, while my client's in the house. It is unprecedented.
What do you make of the judge's kind of jovial, laid back vibe today? He seems in a great mood. He laughed a lot. Can we interpret that as him not taking this seriously? How should we interpret this?
Judge Doolin is the best. You don't get any better. He's been around. He's walked the walk. He was in the DA's office, been a counselor forever.
And there's Mark Ritter coming out. There they are coming on out, chat.
Wait, I noticed you took part of the hearing. Yeah. How'd that go for you? Was it worthwhile? Yeah. I know. Warren. Don't know what's happening. We can't talk about it. We can't talk about it. And your life. How did they win? Are you comfortable today? Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of stuff happening. Well, it's discovered, it's impoundment. We've had it for months and months and months, and we can't talk about it. It's in the public. This stuff it's just this cloud of secrecy that exists in North County. They do whatever they want. No one else gets to know except them. Not how. It's
No one cares about it.
Yeah, it's getting a little boggy, guys.
less you have to get up with the old boys. I know how it works. You got the judge, you know, the attorneys are together on a lot of different stuff. You sitting there kind of monitoring it. You know, you took it seriously.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but just, I can't just talk about what we guys do a selfie.
Get me. Sorry. And now we're looking at how do you feel about that? And how do you feel about the integrity of this type of investigation, knowing that they now are exceptional?
Well, it's undeniable that it's instead
And guys, think about this. While this is not as big as what's going on with Karen Reed, think about a court case where there's just this many people. 40 people showing up outside for the defendant. That's crazy alone. The defense diaries had good audio. I'm sorry, I don't know where it's at. Sorry guys, I don't know. Like, if you know where it's at, let me know. That would help.
Yeah, he's still on all the emails. That's ridiculous. I mean, why is it? You have to ask him. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to ask him. How was the day for you? They was fine. So, just as far as the Miller situation, there were issues, obviously, but the bottom line is never in 26 years have I ever seen a situation where an alleged victim of a crime calls the prosecutor in the middle of the night or while the crime is happening instead of 911 for the police. Once that happens, he made himself a witness, and that's the way it is, and that has to be resolved. He's entitled to a fair trial. He's entitled to a trial without conflicts, and we're entitled to call someone who is a fact witness. So the fact that you have to see the prosecutor, as incredible as that is not a basis to get a pass. So we fully expect that we will have to in this case of pensions and have him testify. And I think it'll be favorable.
How confident are you that you are going to receive all of the discovery that you've asked for in 3 weeks?
We'll have to wait and see. I take Mr. Costco at his word. He did jump on this late. Other people were involved beforehand, but we're entitled to what we're entitled to, and we're going to get it. And we'll continue to complain that we do. And again, that's the centerpiece of a fair trial. We're entitled to material we want it. If you don't give it to us, that's at your own peril.
And that's true. It sounds like they're going to get it. It sounds like they have a lot of things they can tie up there. Yeah, when you start making phone calls, you start, when Mello started making phone calls, oh man, that becomes discovery. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there's Hank Brennan stuff in there too, kicking around. Say, look, it's Lucky driving by. That's funny. That's funny.
For that the expectation of privacy has kind of all gone out the window at this point. Can you talk more about that?
Disgrace, corrupt former state who was terminated for his conduct in the case that Kearney covered, and that same agency is the one who arrested him. There are communications which are impounded, I'm not going to get into them, that I think would shed a lot of light onto that. Now, as far as them being impounded for witness privacy issues, this man went on a press tour a few weeks ago and emphatically denied doing anything. We don't agree with that. But if you're going to put out piecemeal coverage publicly, trials are supposed to be fair, open, public access. The public ought to see exactly what he was saying and who he was saying it to before he was arrested and why that was. It's just public access and part of fair trial. That's all.
So who's the Commonwealth protecting him?
I'm not going to speculate on who they're protecting. They seek impoundment of virtually everything, which is the antithesis, again, of what a fair trial is. There should be a presumption of openness. There should be light, not darkness. But for whatever reason, in this county, in their high-profile cases, they seem to have a presumption of darkness. We don't accept that.
All right, guys. So that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Looks like that's really it. Everybody's getting ready to move and leave.
All right, yes.
Looks like a very nice neighborhood. Nice little area of town. These old courthouses are very nice looking. So, yeah, guys, that's it for Turtleboy right now. It's this discovery is gonna get good. Let's hope that impoundment order gets lifted, because then you know what Turtleboy and the defense team can do? They could just they give it's like Bane. Here, take it, and it's yours. We'll get everything, chat. We'll get everything, just like it's the Brian Walsh case, or Walshy, or whatever his name is. We're learning about Buchanan and Tully screwing around in that one, where a guy who very likely, it sounds 100% like he chopped his wife up into little bloody bits and threw it in dumpsters and stuff. He might walk because of that, because of their illegal activities. So, Joe's saying, I know it's a preliminary hearing. Yes, it's a pretrial. So we'll see what this leads to. We'll see what this leads to. Now, with that said, there have been some very interesting things that have happened. There have been some very interesting things that have happened to what we're looking at here, chat. And real quick, just some updates. Some really good updates here, guys. Oh, 364 people. Guys, thank you all for being here. Please hit the like button if you can. It's the Department of State Police. This is a personnel order. The issue date was July 1st. And it's a temporary duty assignment. And they say the Massachusetts governing laws and the rules and regulations governing the state police. The following temporary assignment is hereby announced Sunday, July 6th, through and including October 4th, 2025, unless otherwise terminated. So for the next couple of months, from the there is a temporary duty assignment for Yuri Buchanan. Ooh, uh-oh. Somebody's getting put out the pasture, chat. Somebody is getting put out the pasture, and he's going from the South Boston headquarters to the Division of Standards and Training. Well, I don't know why he's there, because he doesn't have standards and he doesn't have any training. But, Yuri is getting rehomed. Yeah. Yeah, that is, yeah, he's getting put out the pasture. He's getting put out the pasture. David says, I have a question. Hi, David. What's up? Go for it. They are going to, they're going to put him out the pasture for now. Oh, man. I wonder if he understands those words. Well, yes, I think he understands this is a bad sign. This is a bad sign. But I think for here it becomes administrative leave. And then from there is an investigation. And then from there, ooh. So, then this is the other part of it. There were some transfers. These transfers are hereby announced effective. So, they talk about a couple different people getting to move it around. Once again, the Division of Investigative Services is being moved to the Division of Field Services. Yuri Buchanan. Oh, he's no longer in the Norfolk Prosecutor's Office Detective Unit. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't know. No. Oh, no. Ghost says they announced these. This is, because it's all government. It's all, sunshine stuff. Yes. And even if this wasn't, this would have been internal to the agency, and I'm sure people would have leaked it out because the next thing we're going to show is clearly leaked from internal police information. David saying, I didn't think you'd call me, but I'll go. I don't understand the court process in Massachusetts, do you? This is a pretrial. It's just a pretrial. And it sounds like they wrapped on a couple of new charges of intimidation for Turtleboy. So that's all it was today. It was just a pretrial. So, yeah, that's all it is. Here's guys, David from Making Law Simple. Great friend of the show. Guys, we'll be doing a Lego stream coming up in August with David. It'll be a lot of fun. Gonna be a lot of fun. Edward says Yuri's last name means bitch in Russian. No, suka Kedek. Suka is the word for bitch. And yes. Transfer Buchanan to Kupiansk. Yeah, transfer him to the fucking front line. That'll be great. Let him dodge some fucking FPV drones. Oh, real quick, somebody did ask a question here. Has Chick's been a member for 8 months? Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Says, can the Commonwealth drop the charges and this all goes away? Yes. Yes, but at that point, if I'm Turtleboy, I'm releasing all the discovery. Yeah, if they drop the charges, there's nothing you can do about that. Say, no, I want to keep fighting. No, if the Commonwealth tomorrow says, fuck it, I'm out, they could do it. They could do it that way. I think that's going to become an issue at some point. There's going to be a push come to shove moment, and they're not willing to give up some discovery. And I think they'll have to dismiss in the to otherwise give it. And I think they'll do that to protect themselves. So we shall see. We shall see, though. Thank you for the support for 8 months. Monrezzo says, are Chili and Turtleboy still friends? I don't know. I think Turtleboy was friends with Chili mainly at this point, just because he fucking hates Kate Peter, and I don't blame him for what I know of their lore at this point. I don't blame him for anybody wanting to go after Kate Peter. So any friend, anybody, any enemy of hers is a friend of his, I guess. Jefferson Post says, Bukkake going to get sent to meet Chloe? Probably. Yeah, Bukkake's going to get toweled off. Now, this is from a reporter that was talking about things here. They can confirm that Buchanan was temporarily transferred on a temporary assignment to the Standards of Training Division effectively. Mechanically, it transferred through the Field Services South Boston Barracks. So, what he's going to do there, he's assigned to the Division of Standards and Training Commander's Office. He's going to do administrative duties, which means he's riding a desk, chat, in support of daily operations. He is going to be doing bitch work. When they say in his time leading to the department, and what they mean by it is the Department of State Police, meaning the MSP, the colonel, meaning their the leader of it, has impressed upon the readers of every rank that personnel decisions serve the best interest of the public safety mission. They do this by conducting a fair and robust hiring process that troopers and professional staff of every background can articulate their qualifications and describe their ability to fulfill the specific responsibilities of any given role. The Division of Investigative Services is currently accepting applications for the vacancy for the sworn sergeant position and the Norfolk County State Police Detective Unit. Suffer, Yuri. Suffer. Oh, yeah. Suffer, Yuri. And as the colonel said, following the conclusion of the trial, the events of the 3 years have challenged our department to review our actions and take concrete steps to deliver advanced investigative training. Yeah, like evidence collection and evidence logs. Ensure appropriate oversight. Yeah, you should have done that. And enhance accountability. Oh, a lot of people should be fired. You should really work on that. They say our focus remains on delivering excellent police services. You haven't done that, and that reflect the value of professionalism and maintain public trust. Well, got a long way to go, homie. You've got a long way to go. Oof. Ghost says desk duty. Yes. He is no longer going to be out investigating crimes. He's going to be a house mouse. He's going to be stuck making coffee and, shuffling papers. He's not allowed out on the street now. They've kept him. He's not in charge of, he's basically secretary. So. Karen says, whoa, what's all the scheduling, Sean? Setting dates a month in advance? Yeah. Steel Toe's been saying what countries have non-extradition treaties. Know where you want to go. Know where you'd want to go. Is this the guy that went in charge of training people? Yeah, he's not handling that. He's not in charge of evaluating anything. He's literally going to be like making copies. They're going to make him a copy bitch and coffee bitch. That's all he's doing. That's all he's doing right now, Justin. He's probably going to have to wear a fucking state trooper's uniform again, which would be hilarious. Like, he's not wearing a suit and tie anymore, like as a detective. He probably wears state trooper uniform now. Miss H. Gold is a new member. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Yeah, Yuri slowly getting terminated. Like I said, guys, this is how it starts. This is how it starts. I bet this is kind of how it went for Proctor at some point. You start here and you're reassigned, and then you go on administrative duty, and then you're on administrative leave, and then you're notified about your investigation. Then all of a sudden, bam, you're out. This is the trajectory he's on right now. JL saying, is this a pay cut for him? Probably not. I mean, he's not in charge of a unit anymore, so yeah, probably a little bit of a pay cut. I don't know how their unit or their union does it, because they definitely have a union. Aaron Hack says, what a loser. Yes. Yes. What's that poor Ukrainian to do? I know. Yuri will be learning how to use word perfect. Yeah. Oh. Did Proctor find another job? Probably not yet. You want him fired out of the USS Constitution into the harbor? That would be funny. That would be funny. Strap him to the cannon. Do it Kim Jong-un style. The only pay cut would be for the loss of overtime. I would think so, but who knows? We don't know how he'd get demoted. Eric saying it's so he could keep his pension. Well, it depends. I mean, I'm pretty sure Proctor lost his pension, and I think Buchanan might be on the way out too, depending on how bad he fucked up the Brian Walsh case and what he did in this case with Turtleboy. Oh man, he might be fucked. So we'll see. We will see. We will see there. Now, this is Kelly Dever. As of June 23rd, remember her? She was the snitty little bitch cop from the Boston Police Department who came and testified for the defense. She's been on a leave of absence for a couple of weeks. Since 6/23. Now, this is probably an internal, from what I can tell, this is some internal Boston Police Department memo or thing that came out. And I'm sure she's in trouble. I'm sure she's in trouble right now. But this is internal Boston police paperwork somebody probably gets, or no, like if you're in the Boston PD, you can find this. I'm sure somebody just happened to send this along. So yeah. Yeah. And is it a Deaver? I don't know what the fuck it is. It's Lying Bitch is her last name. Dweez is saying normally Yuri and Proctor could sneak out the back door and pop in another city or state. Well, I don't know about popping up in another state, because if you pop up in another state, you'd lose all your seniority and try to have to get rehired again somewhere. I don't think that would work. And usually when you're in the state police, you're generally untouchable. The idea of and I think John Bryan, the civil rights attorney, civil rights lawyer, the guy he's here on YouTube, he mentions this, and it's a thing. The journeyman cop, who's like an itinerant drifter who's murdering people. They go be a bad cop in department to department to department to department. Usually it's cops at the lower levels that do that. Guys in like the MSP generally survive. And the thing is, the only reason why Proctor and Buchanan have not survived like normal is because there was so much attention on this one. So much attention on this one. Did I see who posted that update on Deaver? No. Who did? I don't know who did. Kind of like the pedo priest, yeah. Yes. So that is the other thing that happened there. And then there's there are some other things that are going on. So there are some other things that are going on, and we're learning from the Brian Walsh case. And this is the case also in Norfolk County where the police might have screwed up and somebody's going to get away with it. But this is a bigger thing here. It's the notice regarding Michael Proctor's work phone data. And if you guys, this is critical to know here what happened here. So anyways, in January 2023, Proctor was designated as a case officer regarding a woman named Anna Walsh, who was suspected of being murdered by her husband. He was indicted in March of 2023 for her murder. And they say at the time of this filing, and this is a filing for 2024 in September, they don't intend to call Proctor in this matter. Why? Well, they talk about the trial of Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. And they say Proctor testified that on June 10th and 12th. And they say that it was subject to cross-examination relating alleged conflicts of interest, communications with involved non-civilians in the case. They say the Commonwealth provided an unofficial transcript of Trooper Proctor's testimony to read to counsel. They say also the Commonwealth provided counsel with a letter disclosing the inquiries pursuant to Graham and McFarland, which are some sort of state, Commonwealth versus Graham and McFarland probably, that included Proctor had been suspended without pay. Remember, guys, Karen testified in June, and by July, she was hung jury. By August, Proctor was toast. But notice that in August of 2024, MSP provided an extraction of his work cell phone to the DA's office. I'm sure they didn't do anything bad with that. On September 4th, the state police provided the Trooper Proctor's work iCloud account to the DA's office. Oh, I wonder what's on those. So I wonder what's on those. I wonder what's on those. And they say, based on the preliminary review, and I love this here, though. This is the prosecutor's office. Based on the preliminary review of the data, because the extraction of the work phone is expected to contain, among other things, information about open investigations, surveillance, video from unrelated investigations, personal identifying information, medical information, location data of Proctor and third parties. Oh, he's allegedly talking to CIs. And releasing the entire extraction reports outside of law enforcement is anticipated to jeopardize open investigations. Safa, I don't care. Sorry, this is what happens when you have a dirty cop. You blow everything. You know he was dirty and you still use them. It could compromise the privacy and safety of civilians and thus not be in the interest of justice. Well, what about the privacy and safety of Karen Reed? Huh? Karen Reed's privacy and safety and contrary to the interest of justice. Oh, I don't know, like Karen Reed? So anyways, they said, though, they've got the stuff. And they said they need to determine what, if any, of the information is discoverable on this case. The Commonwealth reported it had the phone and the iCloud stuff. They indicated whether it was worth exploring whether to hire an independent firm to examine the phone data. Notice they're like, we're exploring whether we have to examine the data on the phone. Potential exculpatory data. Oh, should we look at this? Well, I don't know. Yes. And the defense indicated it was their position. The DA's office has the obligation to search the phone. True. It's 100% true. They have a full obligation to do it. And they said, pursuant to a couple cases here, the Norfolk District Attorney's Office will follow the court's discretion and search the data for bias and Rule 14 materials. The Commonwealth will be willing to conduct similar searches for this case. The District Attorney's Office also intends to continue exploring retaining an independent firm to review and examine the materials. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. They blew all the money on freaking Aperture. It's all the Aperture budget. They blew it. But these people are absolute turds. Absolute turd hoppers. So just these people, chat. These people are just so disgusting. So disgusting. Like, how do you deal with these people? I don't know. I don't know how you deal with them. I really don't. I really don't know how you deal with these scumbags. I don't know. So I just it doesn't make much sense. It doesn't make much sense. So it just I don't know. I don't know, man. Sam and John are rolling in their graves. Yeah, a lot of people are. So wait, damn, Deaver can be a sugar mama. Yeah, well, like it pays a lot, man. The Boston PD pay a lot of money. But your standard of living is really fucking high in Massachusetts, so yeah, no privacy for Karen Reed and about her, having problems shitting herself. Yeah, how about everybody? Think about this. How many people have been sent to prison because of him? Think about how many people have been sent to prison because of Michael Proctor. Like fucking gajillion over the years. Not even him as a detective. Just him as a state trooper. Oh, he was speeding. Or, oh, I think he was drunk. Think about that. Trooper Proctor busted you for a DUI. You believe that? Would you, think about that? Think about that. Oh. So. Think about that, chat. Think about that, chat. Couldn't they just redact all the other info? Here's the problem. Do you trust them to redact all the info, Mike? You can't. And also scroll. I thought I did. I'm sorry. We're still on page 1. Sorry about that. But I don't trust them at this point. They need an independent party. You can't trust these people. How do you know they're going to redact what's legit? I just, I don't know. I don't know. Seriously, imagine if you're Karen Reed. Yeah. 100% imagine if you're Karen Reed. They spent $400,000 on an associate's degree with Shannon Burgess. Yeah, and Dr. Welcher, $400,000 on that. $400,000. Devers will be reassigned to desk duty. Maybe. So, yeah, I mean, think about it. Proctor could say, I smell marijuana. Think about how many people he fucked around with. It's just awful. So awful now. Mr. Sniper says Massachusetts police can visually estimate your speed and it stands up in court. Yes, they can do that here in Ohio too. The cops are trained in it. And you're like, I questioned one before in a DUI case before, and I'm like, I really don't think you're trained on that. I really don't think you are. Now, it doesn't help though when your client, like there's traffic and your client's just like zoom right by every other car. You're like, okay, well, yeah, I'm probably going to lose. So, Territory says, I'm behind. Is the Turtleboy case being televised? No, it's on Zoom and we can listen to it audio. For now, it won't be televised, but it's soon, probably at some point, it will be. So we'll see. We'll see in the future here. Do you think the Karen Reed case is turned into an onion where the police in the Commonwealth will be axing government officials in layers? I don't think it's going to keep going, but I think these MSP detectives are going to get fucking sacrificed to protect power. So yeah, those guys getting sacrificed will happen. But no, I don't think it goes much higher than that. Yes, this trial made a lot of people lose their careers for them. They're the McCabe's and the Alberts. They're not the McAlberts. But yes, imagine that. Imagine losing your job for like Jill Albert and Jen McCabe. Those two slatternly hoes. Imagine that. Imagine losing your fucking career over these people. Imagine that. It just, oof. Unhung Hero gifting 5 subs, chat. Let's freaking go. You know, guys, when you guys give subs or you guys join, you know what you're doing to the gray. You know what you're doing to the grays every time? This is what you're doing to the grays right here. Literally, this is what you're doing. That's what you're doing every time. You are just crushing them. Absolutely crushing them, grinding them into dust. Grinding them into dust. And thank you for the support, y'all. And then Dark Horse Productions, a new member. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Guys, if you guys do become a member, we do a lot. We try to, and now Karen Reed's over. Back to doing the members only shows every Wednesday. So we'll be getting at that here coming up this Wednesday. Jefferson Post says, so great the former attorney general is our governor now. Yeah, I know. I'm sure they'll get on top of investigating everybody. I'm sure they will. Mike says, just looked it up. The Norfolk DA budget in 2024 was a little over $14.4 million. So they spent 3% of the yearly budget on Aperture. Well, I mean, there you go. There you go. There you go. Ag is saying, does Karen have a 1983 claim? I mean, she can try. Is a court going to get it anywhere? I don't know. I mean, that's a problem. Will it survive? I mean, the other big thing, remember, chat, you have to worry about is qualified immunity. And remember, that insulates a lot of police misdeeds and like literal intentional acts and intentional, like complete malfeasance. So I think at the end of the day, they probably get qualified immunity in federal court just because like being incompetent isn't a 1983 claim. And I don't know if there's enough proof to show that they fabricated evidence. But maybe there is. I don't know. But even then, it's not guaranteed in the Second Circuit that counts as, that counts as, I'm sure, wait, they're in the First Circuit, I think. In the First Circuit, I don't think that counts as surviving qualified immunity. So I think she would lose. If I had to guess. We're trying, but you got to deal with it. So, people calling them McAlberts, I know, but it drives me crazy. JL says, Sean, there's many people that don't believe canine dogs can prove anything. Generally speaking, that's true. I mean, like, they're good at finding people. Like, their tracking, like, for people is great. Or if they're looking for bombs or dead bodies, they generally do a good job at it. But yes, when it comes to drugs, they're fucking awful. They're absolutely fucking awful at it. That's not something that you can naturally do. You have to train them to do that. So, did Allie McCabe testify this time? No, there wasn't, guys. It was just a regular hearing. Regular pretrial. No hearing, no evidence was taken today. Saying what a good boy, Clyde Tron. Yes. Yes, 3% of the Norfolk yearly DA budget on Shanna Burgess' associate's degree and blue fingerprint. Yes. 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 Brewberry's been a member for 17 months. Thank you for the support. 17 months. It's a long freaking time. Says the goodest boy, Clyde Tron, doing such a good job. Oh, he is. He's always a good boy. Clyde does such the best jobs. The best jobs. Deaver's going to be on throat goat duty from now on. I bet. I can see that. Oh. Lone Star Medic, who's been a member for 6 months, he says, the Commonwealth could suffer. When my state does it, suffer, Texas. Well, I don't know. Texas is suffering, but not in the way we want them to right now, so. Oh. Robert Scott says, I found out the hard way I can turn green when I'm not here. Yes. Say, or if their TSA dogs wanting to reach their daily quota for checking people at random. Well, that's true. That is true. That is true. Is Clyde Coin real? I mean, it's about as real as this image is. I mean, do you really think Clyde went to the moon? I mean, because it looks like Clyde, but it's not Clyde. It's not Clyde. So if you think that's real, then yes, Clyde Coin is real. Oh. Mike says, video that river rising is scary as fuck. Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys have never lived out west, the people who have lived out west do know and can confirm flash floods are scary. Especially in any, that part of Texas is arid sometimes in the year. And you drop a bunch of water like that in a place like that, guess what happens? The water just takes off. So, yeah, it's dangerous, man. Flash floods are crazy. And it's funny now they're showing there weren't any, the National Weather Service is fully staffed. It's just, how do you warn people at 4 a.m. something's happening? I mean, it's like if a tornado come rolling through a town at 4 a.m, ain't nobody up. So, yeah. But yes, flash floods are dangerous. Dangerous. You've been in Florida your whole life. The only thing I really know are hurricanes and small tornadoes. Yeah, flash floods are bad. If you live out west, if you go on YouTube, you can just Google flash floods, like people living out in the desert. Just all of a sudden you see a little trickle of water, and just ain't nothing you can do. Yeah. So. Been there, done that. It's been a member for 15 months. Thank you for the support, man. 15 months. I appreciate it. Says my mom is a better detective than Proctor was. Well, what did she detect? Yeah, flash floods in my area can be up to 50 feet of water if there's a drought. Yeah. And that part of Texas, guys, believe it or not, if you're not from Texas, a lot of Texas is arid or semi-arid. It's a lot of arid plants and stuff. It's not uncommon for rivers to dry up different times of the year. The fact it was 26 feet is boggling my mind. Well, I mean, it just, all the storms hit right and it parked. The storms parked in one spot. So. Joe is saying, okay, for anybody who doesn't understand, yes, Clyde Coin is a joke, chat. We don't really have Clyde Coin. It's just a joke, but he's such a good, and Clyde is our doggo, and we're going to grab him. There's 800 people on Twitter. Are you guys actually real or no? I can't tell. Anyways, Clyde, come here, buddy. Are you guys on Twitter real out there? Because, there's 800 some people, and I'm like, that'd be kind of cool if you guys are out there. So. Clyde Coin is real. Don't you dare do that. Aaron is a better detective than Proctor. He leaves no DNA unfound. Ah, that's good. That is good. Well played. Taking the best samples. Aaron uses his organic swab, also known as tongue. Aaron's like Bender. He can swab it up and be like, and he's got like internally he can process it and go, that's Nick's. Oh. Kitty says it's still real to me, damn it. All right, so hold on one second, chat. Here he comes, chat. Here, buddy. Come here. Come on. Come on, Clyde. Come running all the way through the house. I heard him. Click, clack. I'm sure you guys probably heard it too. Heard his little click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. And he comes up to the door. He's holding his peen with the little holder. And he just looks at me and he's like, "Sup, Batman?" And he just like trots off. So no Clyde tonight, I guess, chat. Sorry. Much appreciate you making him a co-star. Well, he is. He is the co-star of the show. He's such a good boy. So, let's see. Joe says our storm river system is so dry that the bike lanes and homeless people are in them. Yeah, well, I mean that happens too. Like when you see the pictures of LA and the the storm gutters and whatever, people throw garbage and live in them. So let's see here. Snub because you said his coin isn't real. I don't know. Maybe chat. Well, maybe someday. All right, guys. Well, that is it. I think we're gonna land the plane. Tomorrow night, like I said, we've got a bit of a schedule planned out for this week. I know, shocker for some of you guys, like that I did this. But we do have a schedule for this week. Some things we're going to try to work on. Tomorrow night, we are doing some stuff from SCOTUS, kind of going over the CASA ruling, and then also the DHS versus DVD thing. With a guy, Ryan Mullally, he is an attorney. I think he's done a lot more stuff on Twitch, and I think a little bit here on YouTube. But run into him here. He seems like he's a pretty good guy. So we'll be talking to him tomorrow about some of this and kind of just like the legal insurrection, because now there's even more stuff going on with that DHS DVD case. You got the DSP schedule. Yes. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow night. Wednesday night, we are looking at Streamlight, the firearms company, the weapon light manufacturer. They also make just regular flashlights too. Very good flashlights. Is suing Harbor Freight. And when we talk about it real quick, it's pretty funny. Depending on if we have more time, we'll talk about Surefire suing Brugger and Thompson, B&T, over a suppressor and mounting design. And then we'll do members only. Thursday night, we'll do the weekly show. Friday night, maybe to be determined. And we'll see. Depending on if I can line people up, we will be doing something fun on Friday. So, yes, flashlights, yes. Are we still doing locals? Yes, chat. Tonight, we are still doing locals, as always, over at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. It is a local show. It's starting, normally we start at 8:30, but tonight I wanted to get this going for Turtleboy's case. Locals is a go. We starting at about 9 o'clock. And we got some fun stuff to cover, but you have to join and support. Joining is free, but supporting costs $3 a month. You pay 10 months, you get 2 months free. Or you can use a promo code SUMMERTIME 2025 and join us tonight for the whole time. It's a great time. You guys are going to love it. All the stuff we can't talk about here is stuff we can't do here. You guys are going to have fun. Yes, JL, I am going to talk about that on Thursday. That is crazy what this lady did. You know, how she did this. It's kind of sad what she did because it's like, that's one of my favorite, like, she killed people with a beef Wellington, and it's kind of sad because I'm like, beef Wellingtons are based. And then Cosmic reposted the stream. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Hella's saying she didn't do it. Is that because you did it? Seems very suspicious, Hella. All right, guys. Joining Barco Verkur saying driving locals is what drove Arcade off the rails. Well, no, a lot of stuff drove him off the rails. So, let's see here. What else we got? No Mayo said, should call me the N-word the last time and made fun of my dying mother. Dude, that was between us. I thought it was a term of endearment. So, anyways, chat. We are going to land here, and I will see you guys over on Locals. 900 people on Twitter watching. Thank you, Elon. Thank you, Elon, for inflating my numbers and my sense of self-esteem. I do appreciate it. It helps so very much. So, chat, remember until next time, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock here on YouTube. Just remember, though, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. And that includes Turtleboy. He is not guilty. You're not guilty. Carradine's not guilty. Brian Walsh is probably guilty, but he's probably should get away with it for what happened, and they violated the constitutional rights. Jeffrey Epstein was guilty. And, yeah, we're going to get through a lot of people here, but we'll catch up to all of them, chat. So good night, everybody, and take care.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy?